Welcome to the Evening Review. My name is Ukwana Klache, and joining us in studio once again is German genocide remnant Rirua Komeheke. Welcome.
Thank you very much for your time.
As we are wrapping up the year, just want to know from you, 2023, the traditional leaders met recently for the annual meeting in Swakopmund, and the issue of infighting at the traditional authority level amongst themselves always comes up. Is enough being done to address this traditional infighting?
Yes, I'm struggling to disagree with the question whether there are infighting or there are no infights. I think initially we have not established what we wanted to do with these things. Since 1990, as we speak casually, until we established the traditional authorities, we have not decided what we're going to do, which will be done continuously so that infights are not the order of the day as you are posturing it. So the biggest problem is, what do we want to do with these institutions? Because if looking at it, at these institutions, it's like institutions meant for the ministers. For example, the Traditional Authorities Council that had a gathering at the coast. To me, I'm laughing at what I heard casually about what they do there. It looks like it's an instrument of the minister to brag to the president who appointed the minister that I'm doing something. You see, even the traditional leaders, here they are, when I summon them or when it's about time for them to meet, they can come and have a meeting at my behest. You see, to me, that's what it means. Because what is the program that they gather for when they go there? What is it that has got direct impact on us as the led? That's why they're infights. Because these people go there at the behest of the minister who's appointed by the president, hoping that they're going to iron out something that will make them to be seen to have done something for the last 364 days. 363 days, because the 2 days they are busy at the coast or what is it, on Donga, what is that, Oshakati or what, they sit and have a discussion pre-programmed, if you want. Because for as long as the led are not participants, how do we participate? By way of sending our leaders to go do this, to these meetings and go do this. Otherwise, there will be infights. They themselves, they are worried about why is this person the chairperson and not the deputy and not the what have you? Or when am I going to be a chairperson? And why is the chairperson not rotating annually? 365 days we get a new chairperson, 365 days we get another new chairperson. Because I remember at one point there was a chairperson who was almost a chairperson for life. Even in his absence, he was a chairperson because the other guy was a deputy.
Yes.
You follow. So the frivolousness of these institutions are the reasons why we have infights in traditional authorities, individual traditional authorities, because these things are taken frivolously. Why would you have a minister to be better than a leader of a people with whom he's waking up every day? For example, a leader in Okakarara, a traditional leader in Okakarara, apparently he should wait for a minister and the governor at one point when they have decided that now we are going to have a meeting, then we have a meeting. These are sources for infights. So we can't call those as if we want to blame infights, therefore nothing will happen. The setup itself, it must be rearranged. We can't report to a minister whom we did not appoint as the lead in traditional matters. We can't report to a minister. Who's the minister? Who's the minister? This person is not appointed by us. He's appointed by a political agenda, and therefore this person will have a political agenda to unfold. Until such time, we're going to have infights. And I like them. I enjoy them because it keeps these traditional leaders busy who do not have programs of their own to carry. They are being kept busy by a minister of some sort. Yeah, you guys, we are meeting at NAST the other day. We are going to discuss this thing of genocide. There are people who agree or who do not agree. So please come there and come with empty stomachs because there will be food. They are being kept busy. They have nothing to do.
The role of traditional authorities in Namibia's development agenda. Do you think traditional authorities play enough of a role in shaping Namibia's future direction?
I have a traditional inclination to disagree with you. And when I say you, I mean the journalist locally. You see, the traditional authority leadership, it was supposed to be doing the traditional authority activities. But now they are fighting to destabilize the confusion caused by the leadership, the political leadership that has overreached all, in the traditional authority, matters. You understand? So it's like you're fighting with one hand. This hand you are trying to stop political, infiltration into traditional matters.
Yes.
Here, this one you are trying to gather the people to have them understand that we have a traditional responsibility, which we have not discussed, you and I. When I say you and I, I'm talking about the led and the journalist. We have not discussed that role, the role of the traditional authorities. We have not talked about it, and I'm sure one day you are going to invite me and we are going to talk about it. So we can't, the traditional leaders are busy veering off the political interference into their playing ground. You understand? That's why I'm saying, why should, for example, the paramount chief of the Wairoro report to a minister? I have got no interest in a minister whatsoever, because this person does not report to me, does not do anything for me, because whatever he is supposed to do is to please the executive. The executive is chaired for by the president, who has a political program. Without a political program, the president will never exist. Never. You understand? So I'm begging to differ with you, Ohone, and say the traditional leadership now, as we speak, they are busy to undo the damage caused by, I don't want to say traditional politics, but by the politics. Because politics has overtaken this thing, because they realize that there are two organized people. These people are organized. When we are campaigning, we can go to them and hope that we convert them. If we are not converting them, then we send them nicely to hell by ignoring them, even if they should not be ignored. So that one we have to clear, Ohone. We have to clear that one first. Let politics be done by politicians, and traditional matters be dealt with by traditional, practitioners.
But then this minister or ministry is the conduit between government and the traditional authorities. So don't you think that in itself is a useful function?
No, but these are responsible individuals. That's why the people who are led by them give them those roles. You follow? They are responsible people, these ones. But now that you have a minister who has a political agenda, has caused a disarray over these people. Now, apparently, they appear to be children who should be coordinated by a minister, else they should fall aside. Let's remove those people from that minister. From the ministry. Under the ministry, let us have them there at the National Council, Council of Traditional Leaders. Let us have them there. Do their own thing there, report to parliament there, just like ministers are supposed to report to parliament or are reporting to parliament, because now you have this minister who's a member of parliament and who's a member of the executive. So yes, that's why I'm saying they are supposed to report to parliament. So the leaders, the members of the traditional council, Ohone, the members of the traditional council will report to the traditional council, who formulate a report and take it to parliament. You gave us 100 million over the next 365 days. This is what we spend on this. We have created institutions that will promote, the tradition, because tradition is what you have done where you came from.
Yes, yes.
Yes, it became a trade. You are trading this as as a result, these people are supposed to be responsible. My child should not speak English in my house. My child should speak when they enter the house. You understand? Finish Concordia from 1. From 2, they practice the tradition at home. But now they speak English everywhere. The traditional leaders are overrun by political leaders, because for them it's good to be seen that the children are speaking English, because apparently education has done them very well. No, but then we are running these languages aground. You follow? So my sanguine hope is that one day before the end of 2024, these traditional leaders will wake up and want to make a call and say, we want to do this thing on our own. Remove us under the Ministry of Local Government and what have you. Let us have our own institution. Let us do our own thing. Let's report to Parliament, because the people who have agreed that they will be led by us, that's where they meet after the elections. Because parliament is by us. For us, by us, you follow. So our leaders, our traditional leaders, they will come to parliament and report. But now you want to tell me, yeah, they will come through which ministry? They come on their own. The Anti-Corruption Commission comes through the office of the president. So let the traditional leaders, council members come through the office of the president also. That because now we have the power to remove the president anytime we don't want after 5 years. You follow. Now we can't remove a minister along, somewhere along the while the financial year is on. So we have the power to remove the president. Even if we have to find a way how to change the constitution in order for it to make provision for us to impeach the president because he has done bad to our traditional leaders, we remove them.
Recently, before I go into that question, because we are running out of time, before we head into the break.
And next time when you bring me here, we must have time.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
I don't want to run against time all the time.
Of course. So you're calling for the establishment of an office within the presidency that will deal with issues related to traditional authorities?
If you ask me, yes. If you ask me, come 2024 November, after the elections, my sanguine hope is that those who are led politically, but who are leading traditionally, I hope that they will start talking that language. Because reports I hear from people who attend these councils, it's like these people go for food. They just go for food and please a minister who will invite the president to the podium. That's basically about it. Because what do they discuss?
And then this person that we put into that office, this traditional leader that we put into this office, how is that person elected? Who do we decide who has that office?
The council has a chairperson. The council of traditional leaders has a chairperson, and it's up to them to decide who's going to be the what have you. But all I'm saying is I'm screaming for an independence of the traditional council. I mean the council of traditional leaders. It must be independent. We can't report to a minister whom we did not vote for or who's brought about by a political agenda. As simple as that, because he's going to play political card all the time. Forgive me, that's what is out there. He's going to play a political card all the time. If you are not towing the line, that will lead to them to go back to the 86% that they had the last elections, the previous elections.
2014.
Yeah, if they cannot get that 86%, then they will make sure that they will make sure how to get rid of you because you are a problem. They will create another leader parallel to you because now your people are not voting for the ruling party. So we get rid of you along the way.
But how do you come to that conclusion? I mean, can you cite an example where, because of political influence?
It's abundance, Ohone. It's in abundance. We have over here traditional authority. What do we have in there? We have one chief. He stood against all these other chiefs, and a minister of local government and what have you wrote a letter to him to say you should come to the meeting in Vambuland because we're going to have a traditional council meeting there. You should come. What does that tell you? Because there are people who are going to that meeting from Vahero Traditional Authority. There are people who attend, usually. But now he invited this one particular chief under the pretext that, no, you are a chairperson of the Chiefs Council, therefore you should come and we are going to deal with you only. No, but the people from that traditional authority, they are saying, no, we have somebody who usually attend that meeting. Why are you not inviting this person? You follow? So that's a living example that the government decides to choose sides. Because this person is amenable to the joint declaration. They say, no, let the money come and then we deal with the quantum any other time. We say, no. The rest of the Vahero Traditional Authority members are saying, quantum or not, the playing ground was not the right one. FIFA does not allow Tigers and Young African to play at that stadium and then get accredited or rated because the stadium is not fit. So what we are saying, the resolution for Parliament was very unequivocal. The people must negotiate for themselves. So anything without us, about us, is against us. That's all we are saying. So I'm giving you an example of what a minister can do because he has got a political interest. The minister had a political interest. Want somebody who will say, fine, from Vahero Traditional Authority, the joint declaration is fine. We can have it as it is and do the quantum later. We are saying no.
We'll continue with our conversation, Rirua. We'll be back shortly, but we do have to go for a commercial break.
Can you feel it? It's that time of the year when the calendar has flipped to its last page. A time when magic is a matter of fact, not fiction. When families and loved ones gather, and the best gift is the simple act of giving. Food Lovers Market is here to provide you with everything you need to make this holiday season a magical one. Food Lovers Market, where Christmas magic begins.
Welcome back to the evening review. Now, Rirua, recently there was a festival, a Damara festival, and emanating from the Damara festival, President Hage Geingob said that he cannot attend tribal feasts because he is not a tribal leader. What do you make of the president's comments?
After that comment, he was somewhere where he said, we are so tribal. You follow? He said, we are so tribal. And he cannot attend tribal events because he's a national leader. He's not a tribalist.
Yeah.
After he said, we failed to build a nation because he said, we are so tribal. Yeah. So I'm saying this to lead you to a platform where I am. I'm at a platform where I'm saying the president is on his way out, so he can say anything. He doesn't worry anymore. He's on his way out come 2024, come 2025, March 21st. That's China time. So he doesn't worry what he's saying. He doesn't bring him marks, or he doesn't take marks away from him. So I'm at a point where I'm saying, under the presidency of Dr. Geingob, we did the last nail in the coffin of establishing a tribal nation. Our nation consists of nations, and it is very clear out there for those who are afraid to even look at tribalism. They would say, no, we are fine, we've done very well. Those of us who are not afraid to say this is tribalism at play, we can see it every day. My friend, apparently it is normal for the Central Procurement Board to have appointed 17 Donga-speaking people and say they are from an internship of some sort, and therefore they qualify to be appointed, and we should keep quiet because these are Namibians. We are coming from an apartheid development where the National Party, that was a minority, had us classified as Hereros, Damaras, Namas, this side, and what have you. And that's what these Hereros, Namas, Damaras, those people who are perceived to be minority in this country, they are the ones who are screaming. They say, no, this government treats us just like the other National Party government, only that it was led by a minority and apartheid was a law. You follow? This apartheid is not a law. Equal opportunity employer is the mantra they are screaming. But everybody else is screaming. Those who are not those who are not Vambos, they are screaming to say, but your chair is on my feet. You are hurting me. And every time I say you are hurting me, somebody who's not you is saying, apparently, I should not say you are hurting me because I'm disturbing peace and stability. But if I'm hurting, where is the peace and stability? You follow? The people in Orua, they are saying, there's a school here. It is becoming government gradually. The people who prepared for this school to become a national school, if you want, were volunteering for them, volunteering their services. But now when it's about employment, we are told we should wait for the children of the liberation struggle so that they get, Chief, what are you saying? You follow? So we are saying the people who are not practitioners of this nepotism and tribalism, when they are complaining, it's tribalism, but when they are victims, it's okay, we are building a nation. So Dr. Geingob, when he was at the Damara Festival, I thought he was going to wear what everybody was wearing, because I saw James Rikua wearing something that was worn by the gentlemen who speak Kwaikobab, the Damara gentlemen who were there. I thought he was going to do the same thing like he did when he was at the Shivanda at the Defense Force activity.
Yes.
He was wearing his fatigue, what is
The
it?
military- the
The
military.
military attire. I thought when he was going to a traditional activity, unfortunately that has got his surname, he was going to wear the same thing which was worn by everybody else there, but he didn't did it. Excuse my English. He did not do it because apparently he's a national leader. But if you are a national leader and the people you are leading are fragmented as, tribal leaders, so what do you enjoy as a president? It clearly means you have slowly gotten there. In fact, you are not there yet. You have failed to build a nation with the nations that you found here in 1990. That's why everybody is going back to their political houses. People who are going to vote Nudo 2024. No joke. I mean, jokes aside, there will be heroes. 100,000 heroes will vote Nudo. 100,000 Namas will vote LPM. Unfortunately, that's the reality on the ground there. People in Okavango, Omuguro, I call it Omuguro, they will vote their political party. People are tired. This nation building program that we're told, one Namibia, one nation, that thing has failed dismally because we have created an upper layer of 500 Vambu Kambal of people who are beneficiaries of the resources. Looking at the names, their names are reappearing and appearing at all the benefits. Even with SME Bank that we have run down, those names appeared and reappeared. So what I'm saying is that, Dr. Genkop, this is message to your face. We have failed to build a nation. Let's try again in 2025 with the new administration. Let's try and build a nation. We have failed as Namibians to build a nation. We successfully pushed everybody back to their homes. That's why everybody December now, they say, I'm going home. So we know what home is.
And then lastly, since we only have about 5 minutes left, describe Namibia in 2023, the highs, the lows.
Oh my gosh, 2023 was a very disappointing year to me as a Namibian because I have seen child mortality rates that are alarming. Children, babies died at the hospitals because as elders, we have failed dismally to fight the regime such that it makes provision for these children not to die of, number one, malnutrition, and not only malnutrition, hunger, and not only hunger, mistreatment by the parents who are forever busy trying to make a living. So if you go to the hospitals and ask them to look at the list of children, babies who died, you would want to stop everything you are doing and say, colleagues, we have work to do. To me, that's the biggest of the noticeable lowest of the year. The highest noticeable of the year is the birthday of my young brother, Dr. Alfredo Hengari, in Dubai. His birthday was in Dubai. He was there, fortunately, on his birthday. So to me, that's the highest. My sanguine hope is that all the children of this garment one day will be able to say, my birthday is going to be in Durban because we can afford to do it. So I'm taking the birthday of my young brother, Dr. Hengari, to say, to me, that was the pinnacle. It was the highest of the...
Why?
I mean, look, who's pushing all these wheelbarrows for nothing one day? Everybody is making sure that one day it has got a greater meaning to me and this country, whatever I'm doing. So for Hengari, it was the greatest of the moments for him. And the guy who's in grade 12 now, he's not going to spend another 4 years in order for him or her to have the birthday party at a Shebin somewhere in Otamansi or something. The pinnacle it's Dubai, because this trip made the understanding that going to Dubai it's a walk in a park.
The COP28 trip.
I don't think, you see, when we are solving problems, we must solve immediate problems before we start tackling joyously the long-term problems, the immediate problems, like the child mortality rate that I just mentioned here. This thing, it must have been the high of the year, that we have done so good to reduce the rate, the child mortality rate. Understand that? So, COP28 is about what?
Climate change.
Climate change. We have child mortality rate here, and apparently we are prepared to go for 14 days to deal with climate change. I don't understand, but I'm sure now that I have spoken about my young brother, Dr. Hengari, he's going to look for me so that he sits me down and we speak about these things, and we have a different understanding come 2024. We can't worry about long-term problems. Remember, this thing called hydrogen, chakuti, I don't know what it is, is for 2035. We are going to accrue benefits for 2035. We have children who are dying now. Did you see the photo on social media of children who are going to school, grade 12? They passed, they finished writing exams. What did they do? They dropped their shoes so that they are donated to other people who are differently fortunate than them. You follow?
Yes.
When are we going back to that? If we are worried about COP28. When is COP28 again? I mean, it will be COP29 now.
Yes.
Whenever it comes, we are going to have 14 days of COP29 again. I mean, COP29. But the children who attempted to help others by donating their school shoes, we can't emulate that example. Guess how much? 2 million. 2 million American dollars. How many pair of shoes you can buy just to donate to the school? Or to this other project by this young man, what is his name? Never Walk Alone. The guy who's at MTC. He has a project called Never Walk Alone, and he donated shoes, and he had some. What if that 2 million for which we bought cars for 2 elders, 4 million. We bought two cars for 4 million for 2 elders who can buy their own cars. 4 million, we decide we give it to Ekanjo. It's the boy Ekanjo, what is his name? The guy at MTC. We give him 2 million, we give him 4 million for shoes only. For shoes only, school shoes only. Imagine how many shoes this guy was going to buy. I mean, pair of shoes. So, Umudu Gabant, we can't be people on our own. We are people because others are. So, at which point are we going to show that we care so that we reduce child mortality rate and solve immediate problems, which is food and going to school? Going to school it's expensive. I saw the list of my child, one of my child who's going to grade 5 now. I saw the list of what we have to buy. Frightening, my friend, frightening. But I'm saying, now, if we can afford them shoes at least, please let's do that. And not buy the 2 cars for 2 million for elders who can afford to buy. They can afford to buy their own cars.
Thank you, Rirua.
Let's have another session.
Of course, next year.
Let's have another session. I want to wish you, as a young man, a revolutionary spirit for 2024, so that those who are looking up to you have an opportunity to emulate and change from where they are. The square meter, that 1 square meter within you are. The change should start there.
Thank you, Rirua.
Anytime.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning into the Evening Review. Good night.